What's going on, guys? Orms Forum coming at you guys today again with another training camp review. And we're going to jump right into day 9. Day 8 was yesterday, or 2 days ago. Day 8, but it was just a walkthrough. I think Dan Campbell even came out and said along the lines that some of his guys were getting nicked up. Some injuries were starting to pile up as well. And they were just going to do like a mandatory walkthrough, just to just get the juices going, just be safe. No hitting, just do some walkthroughs, man, and that's a good thing. There's nothing really to report on a day 8 walkthrough. These guys were literally not getting too physical out there. But day 9 happened, and let's just jump right into day 9. Now, tight end Jake Osmond was released. He's a guy picked up, played for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Undrafted free agent that the Detroit Lions picked up. He was released. They also signed nose tackle Miles Brown. There's a camp body. Basically because you're seeing guys like Penasini getting hurt. Nick Williams is on the COVID reserve list. Michael Brockers is getting some vet rest. So it's like 3 guys right there, and you just got to keep some bodies safe. And Miles Brown's probably just a guy that going to use him as a camp body as well. So then, like I said, no pads for defensive tackle, defensive end Michael Brockers. He was out there, but no pads. Derek Browns as well with a hammy, out there, but just not participating. Safety Elijah Holder had a nice day. Very active, forcing a fumble and a fumble recovery too as well. A little more talk about him a little bit later on. Jamar Jefferson running with authority too. You really like to see that too. Some more talk about him a little bit later too as we get into some things. Linebacker Jalen Reeves-Maybin joined the team late. He was on the COVID list. He was out there with a mask. Shook hands with Dan Campbell apparently. So he's starting to slowly, get back into the groove, and kind of need Maybin out there to see what he can do, because he's been on this team for a few years. Not really the type of linebacker you want out there for 3 downs. He's more of a pass coverage linebacker. Excellent at special teams. Was our special team star a few years ago, or a couple years ago, or has been that. But he's not very good on the run. He's a little bit smaller linebacker, but he's back in the mix, so that's good to see. Tyrell Crosby's out, man. He's got that grade 1 hammy. Got to get him back healthy. I think he's going to be short-lived being out, so maybe a week or 2, I believe. So we need him back. Defensive tackle, like I talked about, John Penasini got an injury. He's out right now too. Defensive tackle Nick Williams with the COVID, he's out. Cornerback Quentin Dunbar going through some personal stuff right now. He's out as well. Alex Brown, cornerback, out too as well. Corn Elder, cornerback, leg out. He exited early on a play. We'll talk about that in a bit too. Running back DeAndre Swift came back, groin, all returned to practice. These guys are the guys that return to practice. Running back DeAndre Swift returned from a groin injury. Running back Dedrick Mills came back. He was a little bit nicked up. He returned as well. Wide receiver Tyrell Williams had a finger issue going on, his pinky. He's back. Defensive tackle Levi O on Wuzurike, the rookie. He came back limited too as well, but he's back in the mix, so that's good. Edge, Julian Okwara back too. He had a hip thing going on. He's back. Quarterback Jerry Jacobs had a contusion. He's back as well. All returned to practice. Now the quarterbacks, man, they came out and it was a deep ball day for the quarterbacks if you chose to. Has Goff been reading the press? I don't know. Is he feeling the pressure a little bit? Goff trying to prove something out there. Maybe deep shots were taken. So they ran a drill where 2 wide receivers ran a short. One ran a short route. The other ran a deep route. And quarterbacks were literally rotating in and out. One would take the short, one would take the long, and they were rotating. But Goff literally bumped out David Blau on David Blau had a long route that he was throwing to. Goff bumped him out there and took it and wanted to throw the ball deep. So Goff is trying to get this deep ball going. Quarterbacks went to another drill, and Goff was still throwing it deep. It looked all pre-planned, apparently. The thing with Goff is that I think it's a confident level thing, not with himself. I think it's a confident level with his wide receivers. He's confident with running backs DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. He's confident with TJ Hawkinson, but those guys aren't going to be running many deep routes. You might see Goff go deep every now and then. You might see Jamal Williams or DeAndre Swift running up the sidelines on a 30, 40-yard pass. You just never know, but it's not going to be consistent like that. The guys that he has to have a comfort level and a confidence level. He has to find it with Tyrell Williams. He has to find it with Brashad Perryman. That's who he's got. That's who our deep, and Khalif Raymond. Those guys are our speedsters. Those three guys at the wide receiver position, those guys are the speedsters. He has to find that comfort level and that confidence level with them. And I don't think it's there. And I just don't think it's there right now, because those aren't very great wide receivers. I as a quarterback in the NFL, I wouldn't be very comfortable with that. You know, these guys are in the NFL. They do play in the NFL, but they're not exceptionally good. Like, especially guys like Perryman and Raymond. Like, Perryman's had what, maybe 7-8 games, good games in 7 years, 6 years. You know, Tyrell Williams has been a little bit better, obviously, has put some pretty solid seasons together, but he's not a true number one. So Goff's just trying to find his niche with these guys. He's trying to find that level of what can I do with these guys. So it's going to take a little bit. I'm not too concerned about it, about the Goff aspect of it. I'm more concerned, and I've said this 1,000 times, I'm more concerned about the wide receiving. That's going to be the issue, and we're going to see it. So, but Goff stayed aggressive on 11 on 11s, targeting Hockenson over the middle. There's actual video of it. Threw a ball into triple coverage. It looked like it was going to get picked off. I think it was a little bit wobbly, the ball, but it was a perfect throw. It was zipped in there, and Hawk made the catch. And it was a big gain. So it looked like it was going to get picked, but it was a nice play, and and like I said, a comfort level is with T.J. Hockenson. He's throwing the ball into triple coverage. That means he's confident in T.J. Hockenson. He's already confident with himself. I don't think it's a confident level within him. It's a confident level within the weapons he has. And T.J. Hockenson, he has no problems with. He's been in his ear. These guys have been inseparable. It's not a problem with those two guys. Now, it did almost end with an A.J. Parker interception. Goff threw a ball that the wide receiver was on an out route, and Goff made a bad pass. A.J. Parker probably should have picked it off, but all in all, man, it's really good to see it's really good to see the comfort level come maybe raise up a little bit with his wide receivers. Goff, he's taking deep shots. He's trying to see what he has with these guys. That's a boost. So you do like to see that, but it has to improve daily. These guys got to get together. These guys got to somehow form a unity, because just right now it's only been one day of him doing that. We need to see this on a regular basis. Now, Campbell's spending a lot of time with Goff too during these drills, which is good to see your head coach out there. He really wants to get in his brain and pick his head to see what's going on. Both guys are going back and forth. It's really nice to see. Now, running backs were in pass protection in day 9 a lot. Swift, Kabinda, Dedrick Mills were all solid in pass pro. So running back Jamar Jefferson, not so much. He's struggling. That was his problem in college at Oregon State. We all know what he can kind of do offensively. He's a really good runner. He's shifty. He can catch some passes. He didn't do a lot of it, but he can catch passes. Good runner, good one-cut runner. Really good on the ground. Not too worried about his offensive skills. We're not worried about his offensive skills, but it's his running his running and his pass blocking that's going to be really focused on. And Deuce Staley has already said it. If you can't block for me, you can't play for me. So he doesn't care how talented you are, but he wants you to be that guy, and he is our number 3. It's just that simple. He's the number 3 running back on this roster. So linebacker Sean Dion Hamilton blew by him on a pass drill, on a blocking drill, and Jamar Jefferson just whiffed on him. Couldn't get to him, couldn't block him. It was done. So Deuce Staley had to pull him aside, talk him up, and they continued. Didn't hear too much about it after that. He just needs to get better. Kabinda looking good out there too, like I just talked about, blocking well, catching the ball too, and then he literally ran over linebacker Sean Dion Hamilton and just put him on his butt. So that's a good sign to see too. And another Brashad Perriman sighting. He did come out nice. He had a nice catch on a deep ball from Jared Goff, beating out Corn Elder on the play. It's 50-50 ball. I think he got up, he high pointed it. Nice catch, probably would have been a touchdown. But Corn Elder ended up getting banged up on the play. And then Perriman got hurt a little bit later on. came down hard on his back, but he did return to drill, so that's good to see. Bolden looked good on a deep ball too, snagging a ball in traffic. He's starting to make a little bit of name for himself as well too, for that number 5 or number 6 wide receiver, whatever they want to do there. We're going to see that's up for grabs, man. I think it's up for grabs after 4, 5, and 6. Literally, it's up for grabs. Whoever shows out in these preseason games and in camp. And then tight end Charlie Tampolo, probably said his name wrong. A guy that they picked up through free agency. Schooled safety Jalen Elliott on a route. Nice separation and catch. Charlie's another bubble player as well. Same with Jalen Elliott. The Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jeff Okudah matches are getting pretty heated up right now. Both players are still going back and forth on each other. One winning, one losing. It's just back and forth. It's really good to see. Brown getting some leverage on him on one play and made a nice catch. And Okudah was running stride for stride with him though, but it was a nice throw and catch. Okudah staying step for step on St. Brown on a deep route and knocking the ball away out of the air. So it's good to see Okudah not having too much problems with his core or his groin that he was having problems with last year, and he's running with players. Tackle drills ensued after that. It's always an advantage for the offense when you see these tackle drills, especially in the open field. It's tough, so it was pretty much the secondary versus the wide receivers. And Ford and Owarie were pretty solid on tackles. St. Brown and handling Okudah on one rep. St. Brown actually faked him on a cut. Okudah went for it, went to go tackle him, went low on him, and St. Brown literally hurdled him. Be careful with those hurdles, though, Mr. Brown. Be real careful with those hurdles. You don't want to get Hawkinson, man. You don't really want to get Hawkinson. And yeah, I know that Hawkinson is not as athletic as Amon-Ra St. Brown, but that doesn't matter when you're going to be laid up in traction. That doesn't matter. You could be the most athletic guy in the planet. You could be Bo Jackson. It doesn't matter. Sometimes, all it needs to do is catch a linebacker or a safety to clip your toes up in the air, and you do a somersault and you land on your neck. It happened to Hawkinson 2 years ago as a rookie. I thought he was dead when he landed on the ground. I thought he broke his neck, but he's a tough son of a gun. He came back, but he missed some time because of it, man. You just need to be careful. You didn't see him do it in the second year. I don't remember seeing Hawkinson do that in the second year. So just be smart about it. Be smart. Ford versus Bolden has been going on pretty good. Those are good matchups. Owarie versus Cephas, solid too. So we're getting to see some nice matchups going on down the line. The O-line, still the same 5 right there, but some shuffling going around right now due to some injuries on the second and third units. Dan Skipper and Matt Nelson getting a bump up because of a Crosby injury. We're seeing Stenberg and Kramer switching sides from left guard to right guard. You're seeing that. They're trying to get this going. And you're seeing newly signed Evan Baum was a number 2 center. Drake Jackson moved to number 3 center. And Jackson's still trying to learn the offensive guard spot too. So there's a lot of shuffling going on. The second and third O-line is not looking that great though from what I'm reading and from some of the videos that I've been watching. They're getting beat badly, but they are reserves. But they need to be a lot better. So there's some issues going on there. The O-line versus the D-line was pretty solid too. Outside linebacker Julian Okwara dominated on day 9, winning 2 of his 3 reps. You seeing that, beating Nelson on a low dip, got right underneath. Nelson beat him, but Nelson did end up getting him back on a play or 2 later on down the road, and he blocked him out of the play, so that's good to see Nelson jumping back in for that. You also saw Sewell as well. Sewell was attacking. Julian Okwara was attacking Sewell on one play, and you've seen it was on the outside. He came around him, beat him pretty good, but Sewell came back, and then he's been fine. That was pretty much the only rep he lost, I would say. That was the only rep he lost. He's looked great, but he got beat by Julian pretty bad on that one play. But that's going to happen. He's not going to be perfect on every single play, so everybody just kind of chill out. Trey Flowers embarrassed Logan Stenberg on a play. Stenberg is, to me, man, this kind of upsets me because I thought Stenberg would be the starting guard. I just thought he would be. I know he had some a lot of penalties in college, but he was a very good run blocker. in college. His pass pro wasn't the best, but I thought he would improve. He's literally on the bubble. He's literally on the bubble right now. Stenberg, there's a chance he might not make this team, but he hasn't looked good at all. But Flowers embarrassed him. McNeil beat up Evan Baum on one play too as well. Hand beat Big V. Deshaun Hand's been awesome. Big V's kind of been up and down. You haven't heard too much about him. Sewell manhandled Charles Harris on one play. There's a video of it too. Just rode him right out of the play. Nice to see from the Rook. Ragnow destroyed newly signed nose tackle Miles Brown as well too. So that was done right there. And Deshaun Hand lined up everywhere. They saw him lining up in the 3-tech, the 5-tech, 0. He was everywhere because there's some guys banged up right now on that defensive line, and they were trying to shuffle some guys in there. Kevin Strong and Deshaun Cornell got some first round reps for first team reps because of injuries too. So they're just trying to try some new things. We saw Levi Onwuzurike in there. He was back, looking a bit rusty, but at least he's back in there, and he's trying to work some of the kinks out. The secondary, Ford's still the front runner for the nickel spot. It's no change at all. Playing the run to a T. He's looking really good in the run, and he's sniffing out swing passes to the running backs and short routes to the tight end. So you like seeing that, but he is letting some guys get behind him in coverage and pass coverage, and he needs to kind of work that out. He needs to communicate with his guys a little bit more. Melifonwu, the rookie, he's getting looks in the nickel and dime packages. He's playing right in the slot there. I don't think he's going to be fighting for that nickel spot. He's not a nickel corner, but they're trying to get him on the field, so that's good. I think he's going to play like a matchup. They're going to play matchup games with him. You're going to see him on some tight ends. You're going to see him on some bigger wide receivers. So they're definitely going to play matchup games with him. You're not going to see him I don't think too many speedy wide receivers, but you will see him in there. And I think it's going to be a matchup game. So expect Melifonwu will get some playing time. He's getting in there. Some miscommunication going on, like I said, with Walker and Ford. Talked about it a little bit earlier. Khalif Raymond got open on a deep route. Ball was overthrown, so it didn't get to Ford. I mean, it didn't get to Raymond, and Ford thought Walker was going to take him over. They had some miscommunication. They had some talk about it, and then Tracy Walker actually went to this tent that they have on the field where they can review plays. He was in there for several minutes. Then he sought out Aubrey Pleasant, the DB coach, and they conversed before he went back into doing some more drills. So it's all about communication. Happens a lot in the NFL. Obviously, happens a lot in sports in general. You have to communicate with these guys, with each other. If you don't, it's just you guys are just out there freelancing, and it's not going to end up good. So then Jalen Elliott, who got beat up by Charlie T. I'm going to call him Charlie T from now on. Made up for his blunder earlier by timing on a blitz, getting to the quarterback. I think that's his best part of his game. I don't like him in coverage. He's not that great in coverage. He's more of a box safety, a guy that can probably get in on some blitzes, and he showed that. He got on a blitz, but he didn't play a pass almost to perfection on T.J. Hawkinson. Almost picked it off, but he made the stop. So you do like to see that, especially the pass coverage stuff, because that's what scares me about him. He's not very good at it. And he laid out a running back in a running play, which is something you really love to see in here too as well. And then, like I said earlier, safety Elijah Holder made an interception on David Blau. You're not hearing his name a whole bunch, but this guy is starting to make a little bit of noise in camp. Special teams, some new drills were introduced. There's some new blocking and pursuit drills. But it's still the same old guys. Still Khalif Raymond, Victor Bolden, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Tom Kennedy are out there still returning kicks and punts. Nothing's changed there. It's best man wins. I think Khalif Raymond obviously has the lead on these guys. So, but don't sleep on Victor Bolden either. Don't sleep on Victor Bolden. He was excellent at it in college. He was phenomenal kick returner, punt returner in college. So don't sleep on Victor Bolden. And then safety, I ended up with this. Safety Bobby Price standing out during drills as well too. He's the first defender down on punts, majority of the time getting there. So that's how you make football teams when you're a little bit limited as an actual player. If you can play special teams, that's how you make a ball club, and then you can work on your other deficiencies, and then you can get better. You can get better, and hopefully you can crack the lineup. But I think this guy's probably going to make it, just maybe on special teams, because he's pretty good. And that's it, guys. Thanks for the video. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, get all my videos, and don't forget to like and comment. It's all about the likes and comments. I can come back with some feedback, negative or positive. Let's go. We're really, really close to first kickoff, man, for the Detroit Lions. We're getting there. Let's go. Boom. Go Lions.